All right, September 8th, back from Labor Day, the market is in action. It's Tuesday, and a wild ride in the market continues at this point. The market was down big today. All categories, sectors, commodities. Let's take a look first at the top gainers. Right now, Lub, 164 million today on Lub. And let's see, what was the news on Lub? Let's see here. Luby's announced its plan to liquidate and share skyrocket. So what is Luby? Operates Luby's restaurants, Fuddruckers, Cheeseburger in Paradise, blah, 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 etc. So, they pop this. They like that news, obviously. And on this one, it's a little bit choppy. You had the big choppy. You had the big move right up. This was pre-market. Yeah, look at that consolidation right at 160. Then here we go. You have 170. Then we bounced again. Look at these dips. Right, pretty much to the top here. 225. This is a whole choppy move up, but it didn't really go down. So it was a very nice long at that point. 18.8 million have been floated about. So very solid long. And this was the top gainer, 111% right now. Next Decade Corporation, 7.2 million. And this, see no news in this. Have a big float over 108 million. This didn't have great volume down here today. 43,000, not your usually 100,000 blocks, but this went up all day. So, if you caught it down here, it's a solid long. SPRO, Spiro Therapeutics, this nice dip right here. And look where that line is. That is yesterday's close at 9. Then we made it over to 1430. It's a very nice gain. You caught this. And you had 3.8 million, pretty good volume. Nothing crazy, but it's a solid long here. Spiro Therapeutics announces positive top-line results for phase 3 ADAPT PO clinical trial of Tabinian HBR complicated urinary tract infection. So there you go. ALBO. This is another one, quick pop. Very early pre-market. See, this made a strong move from like 30 to 52. When you move here to here, the chance of it going higher to the next leg up is doubtful. That's a strong, big price volume move, and then it faded. It was a fade. This is elbow, and had 7.7 million today in volume. So there you go. And you can see it here. You can see what these do. They pop and they fade. NKLA announced that GE, or not GE, was it, let me see. Was it Ford? Oh no, GM deal is coming. And their Badger truck, they're going to be producing that. So this really popped this. And this took this from 42 to 54. 143 million to buy. Now this was in a trend here, went up, washed down on the daily, finally found the bottom right here at 30. You had the big gap here, it got into the gap, started to fade again. Then, it just sort of faded after the news was here, faded back to this trend line. And, today it just popped in. So, this became a trend line now. You have here, here, and here. I did 2 cross trend lines too, so. Very strong move on NKLA, 136 million float. Well, the FinBiz is 97 million. ZODX, we've been talking about this on my videos, stock twits. This move down here, this went from like 30 to like 8. Today they popped 20 million, eventually popped. See this falling wedge? It could have went to 5, 4. I don't know where it's going to go. Eventually it will pop, and it did. And that's exactly what happened here. So you have a trend line now, right here. This was the stop, and the stop was really, looks like 8 area. Low today, 807. So, they took the 807, and that's where they popped it. Now, on these, when they keep going down, you just have to watch it. Keep it on your, alerts tab or stocks that you follow, because you're not going to catch it exactly at that point. But if you're watching it, and it's like on your screen with the main stocks, like eventually it will pop, you want to catch it. So Co-Diagnostics Incorporated enters into agreement with Arch Research to expand COVID-19 testing services. So, COVID-19 nonsense again. So there you go. And, intraday 5-minute, look at this. You had here, you had your high a day, right at 912. Then we fade it back to, 823. Then we took off to 1180. So very strong long. And the floatiness is about 25 million. AUVI, this is a recent IPO. And, there we go. We popped. MICT. This has a broadening wedge look to it right here. And you can see that huge wick up. Look where they took it to, exactly 11. Some of these things are so manipulated, and the algorithms. So this is a really crazy chart. And that was way early. Look at this. That was at 4:35 a.m. Then it just faded down. AQB. It's had the huge drop in August, and we pumped up right here today. Pretty good long there. Works, this stock's manipulated. So you had the huge halt from back in April. It was halted for what, May, June, July, August, open August, and then this faded. Then we had a very large move, 100 million in volume. Today, 23 million, as it's trying to get back in, this chart on this. So, I don't trust this stock at all. Stock's been holding it for like months. It's totally suspicious to me, so I'll just stay away. And you can play it, it looks pretty safe here, nothing crazy. But you don't want it to get hauled again in your money stuff. So okay, RTL, TCON, GTT has a huge spike. See these stocks, you don't want nothing that hugely spikes this like that. Unless you're down here, you got it. You don't know what's going to do that, but it's a gain. But you're looking for more of a chart like this, a nice long chart, OCX. You double bottom down here, 125. Draw your line down here. Looks to be coming out of this. You have a huge gap ahead. So, this looks interesting long. Some WD2. SPRT. This is Technology Bears. This is TECS. Rarely ever see this on the ticker, 9.7 million. Look at the last 3 days, these white candles. So the volume's really increased, because this is the opposite of technology bulls. So this really took off today. SOX is the same thing. So Soxel is the long on the chart. Look at this right here. The split really broke up here. And this is a very large falling wedge. The wedge gets tighter and you break out of the wedge. SQQQ right here. Technology, the Nasdaq. This is opposite the Nasdaq. If you're bearish, look at this. They did a split because it was going down so low. It would have been like 0. And then eventually we're coming up here. Look at the volume here. And this is, broke through the 20 or 13 EMA. Where could this go? How far could the Nasdaq, pull back? Could this go to 30? It's a lot of traffic up here, line. Maybe 30, we'll see. It's hard to say exactly on these, but PTE. What else we got here? RCM. There again is NNOX, recent IPO. And this is, you know, very strong move early in the morning here, and it took off to 42. A very large gain there. NCE, SCO, oil. So, you know, oil was bludgeoned today. You know, oil was down 7%. And this had a nice move, 1850, a nice dollar move. NFE, Fortress Energy, this has been nice. Yeah, this thing was back in April, like $8, it's 32 now. Wow. Graph, this was a former runner. You see here the volume, this is stayed above its 1320 EMA, very strong. So yeah, there you have it right now. So back from the holidays, you know, small caps still not really, you know, totally heating up. You have a few stocks. Again, you have higher price like 13, 19, 28, 60, 30, mixed in with your twos, your 40 cents, 850. So it's still a mix. And you don't have really crazy runners, but you still have some strong top gaining stock. So, you know, that's where we're at with that. The market being on the weaker side now, as far as we're getting crushed here every day. We reached the peak, we reached the top, it looks like, for now at least. Corbus Pharmaceuticals, this got smoked. Is this real? What is this? Wick. Yeah, it went down, I guess. Let me see, what was the news on this? Failed drug. They announced top-line results from Resolve 1 Phase 3 study. And I guess it was bad. So, you know, look at that thing. That's why you never hold these stocks. These pharmaceutical stocks, like, it'd be crazy to hold these. If you're holding them at the bottom, waiting for a pop, maybe that's different, but it's not an investment. All right, so, you know, that's where the market stands right now. And you have your ETFs again. Let's look at the VIX, see where we're at. All right, so the Dow Jones down minus 632 today. S&P minus 94. Nasdaq minus 465. Dow Jones is minus 2.25%, 2.76% S&P. Nasdaq 4.11%. Small caps 2.72%, minus 42. The VIX 3142. It was plus 215. Commodities, gold 1937 was up. Silver 26,840. Crude 36.88, minus 7.24%. So, you know, crude's getting smashed today. So let's take a look at the VIX here, where we're at. You know, VIX reached its peak right here. You know, oversold now. Overbought, oversold. We're overbought. We've run up from about, you know, 20, 21 to as high as 38. We're far away from the 13A. So this could come in. This could come in maybe 25. We'll see. You know, it's crossing down now. It's made its big move on the 4 hour. Let's see if it wants to try to cross up again, maybe. 2 hour, sort of sideways, the hour. And, you know, 30-minute. So it's in a downtrend now. It looks like, you know, it's going to break this. Looks like a triangle forming now. We'll see. On the weekly, the weekly is as high as it's been since the March crash, you know, where it peaked at, the weekly peaked about 70 something, 70 plus. Then we came back down, you know, then we bounced here a little bit, but it never even got over 20 on stochastics. And then now we're at 33. So, you know, we're heating up here. This is a crossover. What do we got here? 23.6 fibs. It touched that. See, here's a 1320. You know, we could be in a range bound anywhere from like 28 30 plus. Just going to come back down to 20 anytime soon. I don't know. Volatility seems like it's going to remain up here. And look at the monthly here. Ever since, even look back here, 2012 all the way to 2018, 19. March is as high as the volatility has been, even higher than 2018, 2019. You draw a line right here, and you have divergence happening. If this can hold, see this in the monthly, this looks like it wants to cross over the white over red here. It wants to go up. So we could be in for, volatile September, October, November elections, coronavirus, back to school, all kinds of stuff here. The winter's going to be coming. Flu season's going to start. So, it's a lot going on right now. We'll see. I think we're going to be remained elevated at this point. UVXY. This came down. It's where this really came down hard today. Peaked at 28, came back to 24. That's where we're at here. This is crossing down on the weekly. Weekly looks like it's forming a red candle there is bearish. Here's the 4 hour. We're crossing down still. 2 hour, still crossing. And there's the 1 hour right here. Very oversold. There's your 24 level. So this might pop again. We'll see if this holds. I would look towards the moving averages, 1320 EMA, maybe the 23 level here. We'll see if that holds. If not, it's going to be a lower here. It's sort of reverse from the VIX. So usually this goes hand in hand with the VIX. I would, it looks like, but these are two big red candles. We'll see what happens with this. That's the VIX. All right, so your bearish ETFs have been hot. SDAO, this is short the Dow Jones. You can see it's been this channel down forever. Big volume the last 3 days. And it's coming up against a pretty strong trend line. We'll see with this. Nice move today, later in the day. Weekly, it's trying to get as high as it's been since March. SDAO. SPXS. This is like straight up stochastic. This hasn't been this high since March again. Big volume. This has been pushed down because the SPY is so strong. This was at like $5. They're probably going to have to do a reverse split. And, this is showing signs of life right now. SQQQ, we talked about the weekly here. It's coming out of this extreme falling wedge. And, it's showing signs here, stochastics. It's getting near even 20. It's at 14 on the weekly. So, this has been buried. The Nasdaq's so strong. This was going to go to 0. They did a reverse split. So, we'll see if there's more legs that come in this. I still think there's more to the downside as far as, overall. We'll look at that in a minute, the Nasdaq, SPY, and all that. KZA, this is small caps. Trying to get above 18 here, you can see. So all these are moving fast, the financials. This is turning up. Stocks, which I just put down here. I gotta move up here. This is turning up as well. LABD. This is biotech bears. You see right there is your reverse split. And, this is trying to come up as well. It's been making a move higher. And dust. This is bearish gold. And, this has been chopping around anywhere from like 16 to 20. So, pretty choppy. SEO is inverse. Oil, crude oil, and this really took off. That oil getting crushed. It's at 84 in stochastics. It hasn't been that high since May. So this is really moving in the weekly. The weekly is, you can see they're turning up. ERY. This got right to 60. I think when I did some algos, I tested some algos, and I think back in August, this said it was going to get a 60. And, this rarely gets above 60. You can see all the way, let's go back to 2019. You had that huge mountain here, it got to 80. And then look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It really doesn't get over it. So, we're going to break through here. That means oil is going to really fall here. But when I did the algo test back here in August, it said look for about 60 plus and to her right. So if you held down here, maybe 46, that's a $13 gain. Let me see, 20 grand by 46, we'll just say, 60, almost 14. That's 6 grand in about a month. That's a normal swing trade if you're holding, a few days, few weeks, like a month's my pretty much max. And, that was right on there. Now, I was looking at this here, and here's pretty good. Then I saw this, and then, you stay away. You lose track of, there's so many stocks each day, and, looking to day trade different things. And if these moves, then you're like, it's too choppy. But if you're really looking at it, really wasn't, because your 13 crossed over, and it was putting in false signals to the downside, and all the lows were getting higher. That's some things you'll see as a pro. It's almost like a quarterback, like Tom Brady. He can read the defense. He knows where this guy is going to be, and he throws it there. It's like, you could see this happening. As right here, and then we kept grinding up. I mean, nothing's definite though. That's the thing. And you saw your divergence stochastic going up, but there were shots in there you could take for a swing. But oil is very volatile. You can have anything happen any day. But the bearish side is almost to, if anything happens with oil, probably be bad. So if you're bearish oil, you have a better chance than long at this point. Even though oil's been around this like 38, 42 range, it really hasn't, got out of that range. So, that's where you stand on that. All right, UDAL. This is the other side of the ETFs. And this is straight down. This hasn't been like this really since June, March, of course. But this is breaking trend lines. SPXL. This is straight down too. These are big bearish candles here. So, we're diving down right now. And TQQQ, which says the Nasdaq. You have a top here trend line. Right here's a trend line. Actually, this line. Let me draw this here. If you draw this, it really was like, see, this was above. All these pretty much connect here. This is a big line, and we went above that line. So now I'm just putting these here because you get 1, 2 clusters, and this is the last. And then look at down here, 1, 2, almost 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 trend line support, and this broke that. So we are straight down. Look at this. This is diving deep. This is going to go under 20, which you want if you're long the Nasdaq. This is a great buying opportunity. How low does it go? You don't know. They might take this to 120, 110, maybe even 100. You don't know. Weekly, this has been elevated above 80. It's at 68. How far will they bring this? It's touching me 13, and then you have the, right here's the 20. So we'll see monthly. That's a huge red candle, man. That's TQQ, Qs. TNA, this is breaking all support here. Small caps. FAS, this is breaking down to financials. Soxel, this is semis. This was on a tear. This was near the all-time highs again, and this got really crushed. The semis moved that way. LABU. This is biotech bulls. This has been really in a downtrend, back and forth choppiness going down. You know, Nougat, and this is the gold miners. Yeah, it's just forming, looks like a triangle here. Descending, the highs are getting lower each time. The low sort of holding in here. We'll see if it breaks down through that low. The gold did nothing today, so it wasn't up big because of fear, nothing like that, but it's not really doing much. UCO, this is Ultra Shares, Ultra Crude, and this really broke this. See this? What do you got here? This is ascending triangle. Yeah, and this broke down. Look at this. It's really oversold now, so we'll see if we get a bounce in that. The USO oil funds, this too is getting smoked. Brent, BNO, also getting crushed. ERX is energy bulls, and you know, this did a falling wedge breakout, choppy here. See, going up. Right here's fake out longs. Is very tough to read this, and then you know we peaked here. You know, it's hard to tell. You had another green candle, then this really just faded down. It's really oversold now too. Could get a bounce. There's DFN, and this is breaking down too. You know, the algos on this, I keep putting up algos. If you see this in stock quit, and I keep calling for, you know, 21, 19, and this definitely has not, you know, passed the test of these algos. They keep bringing it up, whatever the pattern is, but it's not working at all. And this is getting crushed right now. So, you know, you have support at 11, then look for your support. You know, down here to 10 on DFN. So, then in this channel, and this has really held up surprisingly well. The market's been crushed 3 days. This has only moved like $4. That's pretty impressive there. The weekly still going up, but you have a shooting star now. The 4 hour really crossing down hard, but hasn't moved much. Nail. This is coming off the highs right here of 56. We're down to 43. You know, it's very oversold. You know, if this gets under 20, it's going to be a good buy. Again, you had back here in March. Then it's elevated. Then it was, you know, it was buying on these dips here. It didn't go that low on stochastics right here. 30. You reached 2020. This like double bottom. That was a good buy. Yeah, we'll see how far this goes. I like this trend line. Calling for maybe 36. We'll see if we get there in the weekly. You know, we're crossing down now. Look how strong this move in the weekly has been since March, April. This is all the way up. Your bottom to top. Now we're crossing down now. How far down are we going here? We're going to go to the 50 level at midpoint. We're going to go all the way back down. You know, it's tough to say. In the weekly, yeah, the moving average is right here. It's tough to say, you know, buy the dip environment, we call it, you know. Well, let's see, you don't want to buy the dip right now until, you know, this is a pretty strong pullback. So that's nail. Some other stocks. NKTR, 19 right here. It's broke that 19. So not looking at good. Swing ideas, JMIA. You know, the market getting crushed. This isn't really going to move. This needs the market pretty much. So it's fading. You know, lower volume compared. I watch the 7 level. That's huge. JMIA. BXRT. This is trying to go up. Look at these wicks. It wants to go up, but it hasn't made the move yet. ODT, you know, this had to move right here, fake out, sort of nowhere's land. Maybe today's a reversal, who knows. NK, you know, this is, the volume's getting less and less in this too. It's really doing nothing here. Slightly going down each day. DVAX. Yeah, DVAX is still going down here. Look at this. Totally buried here, oversold. But no move yet. Lumber liquidators coming off the high 29.59. You know, this is a trend line now. First green candle wafted up here, but it's at a 465. It's pretty washed down. The weekly, you know, the weekly's coming off this run too. See this? Now we're in the cross down. 4 hour, you know, it's pretty oversold here. I'd like to see 20 hold, you know, if not 20, you know, this is probably gonna get like 18. So there it is on that. Airlines, HA, holding up pretty good. Love, you know, love's at 40. What are the other airlines? Love, HA, Alaska Airlines. Yeah, they held up pretty well today. You see right here? It's pretty amazing. Win. It's really going down now. LBS. Biggest sands are just hovering here. Financial REITs. Call. Yeah, these are doing nothing. IBR. Restaurants, I think you're doing better here. Den made its peak. This is falling down. Ruth holding up well. Red Robin. It looks like it hit its peak. It's coming back down now. You can see on the moves here, stochastic, you know, low. There's your run. You wait for the confirmation. Yeah, it doesn't have to go all the way down here. I mean, that's a good sign. If it goes down there, eventually it will bust through. See this? When you bought here, say, oh, we're oversold, I'm going to buy here. You know, you're way early. This thing went to 8. You have to wait for a confirmation. See, eventually on this, draw your line. It has to go over it. And then did over 9, and there you go. So that's where we are on that. You know, so that's where the market is. Very volatile situation. Oh, I didn't look at the SPY. I looked at the SPY here. Yeah. This is SPY. Now the SPY, I have all these lines. This is from 2000, 2007, 2009. And yeah, these don't connect. And that one sort of connects, and this connects this previous one right now. The one here, this goes all the way down really to 2012. So that is a big trend line from 2012. That's 8 years. And look at the SPY. We went straight down real fast. This is like a March move, and then in the meaning that, you know, this is straight line, the stochastics went this down. See this? Went straight down. And we went down this fast. We're almost under 20. You know, because this was a high of 358, and we're at a low of 332 already here. Now let me get in my bigger chart here with all the lines. Yeah, you have a big 50-day here, 330. That's going to be a test. We just crossed over MACD, which isn't good. You know, RSI is really wide here. So, you know, looking for 330 short term. Next one's a 100-day, which is near 315. And then you have 310 to 200. And you have back here the 61.8 fibs level. So yeah, I've been calling this for weeks. Got a drop once again. Yeah, I've been calling for this. As soon as I saw this rising wedge here, I saw it here to here, here. And people know in Stock Blitz, I've been saying this on different sites, from some Discord channels. This is a rising wedge. And the rising wedge is going to fall. So this move up, is the last kind of gasp. Now, how far down are we going to go on this? That's the question. 330, I think we hit that. If we have a real strong pullback, you'd really like this to go to the 200-day at 61.8 fibs, like 305 level, 300. I don't know if we get that far. So this might be just to here, and then we go back up. It might be just at a 50-day. On the weekly, the weekly's finally bending down. Look at this. We've crossed. MACD's trying to cross. RSI's crossing. Got a lot of moving averages here. You have the 9, 13, the 20, and here's your 50. So even on the weekly, it would look like 30, 305. The monthly, monthly would go down to 20 EMA, it looks like. 50 would be 270. Your 4-hour, see this wick got shot all the way down. Didn't hold here, so that's not good. We're really deep on the 4-hour. Look at this, deep MACD correction here. On the 4-hour, you see 330, 323, and 315. 2-hour, we busted through all them. The 150 moving average, there's 330. That's the 200-day. And the 1-hour is through all of them. There's nothing here in support in the 1-hour. We could just fade all the way down here to this 325. Right here is a big move, 327. And you can see the MACD is sort of jangled. It's still going down. 30-minute. So that's where the SPY is at this point. The Dow Jones. Now you have your 50-day right here, 27,147. Here's your 200-day, 26,302. On the weekly, this is a lot to go through here. If it would be a total correction, 24.5. But you have them all lined up here, the 9, 13, 20, 50, 100, 150. There's the 4-hour. Next would be this 100-day, 27,164, 26,740 out of 150, and 26,000 on the 200-day. So monthly on this. And a monthly of all these little moving averages to 26. We'll see what this does with that 50-day. All right, the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's really getting smoked. There's a cross up top. You learn these patterns and all this. It crossed at the top of the pattern from here to here. You knew that was the top there. It had to be, and it was. And it's fighting this 50-day, went through. You're at the 100% retracement level now. Actually, I'm going to put it up here. It's at the 100. With a new level now, so, right there. So 61.8 fibs will be like 10,000 from this bottom. 50-day, you have 100-day, 10,000 will be at 61.8, and then you're 150, 200. So on the weekly, see right here, 10,000 is pretty big with these, and then your next one's just under 50-day. The monthly, That's a big bearish candle here. 4 hour. Hugging that 100-day. Then you have 150, which is at 10.5. And then 200 days at 10.86. So you can see where we stand here. You know, more downside to come, it looks like at this point. You know, we just took off from 12,000 to 10,000, a blink of an eye. And this needs to be a deeper one. This ran all the way here to here. This might even come to there. That was in March or February. Maybe this comes at just under 10,098. That'd be a real strong pullback. There you have it. Volatility is up. Going to remain elevated September, October, November. You know, elections, coronavirus, a lot of back to school now, all kinds of stuff happening. And you know, will small caps heat up? You know, it's getting back from summer, September. Are they going to slowly start creeping up here? You know, probably, maybe, but this run with the market maybe is going back down now. Once it, you know, corrects itself, maybe they'll heat up. But that, who knows when that'll be. So we'll see on that as well. All right, please subscribe and like the channel. And we will be back. We will be back for more education, stock market analysis, you know, day trading, swing trading ideas. You know, my calls have been pretty much spot on. You know, I throw out some algos. You know, sometimes you got to look at them. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. You have to look at it deeper if they make sense what they're saying. You know, sometimes they're off, but the eye is never wrong. We could tell this was a top, and then you get a SPY, and you saw. See, technical analysis, people know this. Like here, and that move in June, that was far above all these other moves. So that was a new high. So they connect, and then there's your connection point, and we broke right through that. So that's how it works. All right, that's it. Peace out. Stay safe. Subscribe.